Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Gonna get back to some action. Hopefully we can string some winning session together. Opening 7-8 suited blind versus blind, even against an unknown player. Defending with 5-3 off. 3-betting here, a little bit light, but it's okay against a weaker player. We do flop gash on flush draw. Gonna start with the bigger c-bet on this board. This is probably a board we go for a larger sizing c-bet. We can wrap all the aces, kings, and our hand doesn't really play that well by using a smaller c-bet. If you had gasha, then smaller c-bet probably makes more sense. He's tanking, I don't know why, but it's whatever. He does check raise. On this board, when he check raise with half his stack in, we just have to fold. Against a weaker player, there's no reason to trying to do anything crazy because he can have some stats, he can have some straights, or pair with a flush draw, pair with a straight draw or a flush draw that he's just never folding after he put the raise in. So just give it to him, no problem. We'll get it next time when we have aces. On this board, we're gonna start with the check against two players. They do have tons of ace in their range. Here we're gonna use a larger sizing as well. I do face the immediate check raise. I think it's better to put in a 3-bet on this board. It's a little draw heavy. I think we just raise and get it in. I feel like he's gonna do this raise with tons of queen jack, even jack 10 type of hands. Just gonna raise it to 50. Put more pressure on him. And not folding to a jam. Here we do face a 4-bet again from a weak regular. I'm just gonna fold here. He does use a pretty large sizing, and A7 is definitely not a hand that we want to be calling a 4-bet too often. Defending with 10-8. Here we flop a bolt. Just gonna start with a small c-bet. He does call and gonna barrel this turn. Here we have a gasha, just gonna go for a small c-bet since we can wrap a lot of aces. Here I think we use a larger sizing. We'll do that with tons of bluffs, and we'll do that with our nuts. Unfortunately, he does fold. Maybe you can consider using a smaller sizing, but I think on that type of board, we are using the overpot sizing very often with our entire range. So I just want to keep it the same. Here we flop top pair, obviously. Gonna start with a pretty big c-bet on this board. We do face the check raise. Definitely not folding yet. Gonna probably put in a 3-bet. Because once we put in a 3-bet, we're wrapping like aces, kings. I don't see him having a set here. We can have some sets here. So I'm gonna go for a 3-bet instead of just letting him draw for free. He does call, and then this is one of the worst turn because he can be doing that with tons of queen jack. Now we're losing to that. Just gonna check behind, and here we do flop top fold. Top set. Hopefully he has a flush draw. He has ace 10. Nice hand. On this board, I think we are using a larger sizing most of the time. Only losing to jack 10. And if he has jack 10, then it's good for him. We're never folding. Here we flop a flush draw. Mostly just check calling here. Against a smaller sizing, I guess I can go for a check raise, but check calling is not the worst. I think we can lead tons of turn here. Let's just lead with a $13 bet. We'll lead with tons of our aces. And if he doesn't have an ace, he's mostly folding. Might call with a jack, but when we barrel the river, he's most likely folding. The advantage of dunk betting the turn is that if we miss our flush draw, we can try to bluff at it and wrap the ace. Facing 3-bet from big blind, jack 10 suited is definitely a defend. Pretty straightforward. Calling this c-bet with mid pair and the gut shot. Checking behind with deuce. Not exactly sure if he's gonna barrel this turn. He does check. I don't see too much reason to bet here because we're only betting for ace queen to fold. Just gonna check back. And here we're checking back. I think deuce is the best hand very often here. Unfortunately, he had a 7. He does bet 44 on the river. Obviously, we're beating ace queen. Not beating much though. When he bet this on the river, I think we have to fold because we just don't beat that many hands. He 3-bet pre, so yeah, we're just gonna fold here. It's a pretty easy fold too. Uh, 10-7 offsuit is a little bit too light to defend. So is 3-6 offsuit. Just gonna give it to them. Oh shit, I misclicked. Whoops, I was gonna fold. This is what happens sometimes when you're playing like too many tables, but I guess calling with king 9 is not like the worst, but it's offsuit, it's pretty bad. On this board, we're gonna use a larger sizing c-bet, and here we're just gonna fold. Unfortunately, we misclick. Lost $6 there for no reason. But I guess we could always pretending like a fish. Flat calling there was definitely a fish move. Oopsie. I think I need to start clicking a little slower today because have been misclicking quite often in the first 5 minutes or so. Turn at 9, pretty good turn. We're gonna overbet this turn. It's very hard for him to put us on 9. And here we're going for a 3-bet. And we'll be betting this sizing with like some overpairs. I think we check this river because tons of draw missed. And I think that's the only way to make more money. I just don't see him calling this river bet, so we're gonna check call. And here we're gonna just bet. He does just have a 6. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure if he's calling a river bet. Maybe he would. Since he called 2 street, I think he's calling river bet. We flop a straight here and does get a call. We're only losing to king jack. just gonna bet for value here actually. Trying to see if we should go for a overbet sizing, or here we're facing a 4-bet from under the gun. I'm gonna go for the overbet, and here folding is fine. Calling is definitely fine as well. I think against this player we peel a flop. Calling with the open-ended straight draw, and here I think we're just gonna jam. Probably gets two pair or set to call. Two pair probably call. Against this player, I think we just go for a jam. Value bet, like if we value bet and then he has king jack, he's shoving, and then we're not folding anyways. So just gonna try to go for maximum value. And here with the gut shot, we still beat ace king, so we kind of feel mandatory to call the flop. And just have to see what he does. He only has 120 left, so if he's jamming, he has it. If he doesn't, he's mostly checking. And on this river, we missed everything, so we're just gonna fold. And he does check. No reason to bet here. We're only beating ace king. I don't think ace king is betting once he checked the turn. And he does call with two pair, exactly the way I thought he like the hand exactly that I thought he might have. And we did get maximum value from a pretty bad regular. This river is pretty good. If he had ace king, he's probably checking again. I don't see him just checking the turn and then all of a sudden start bluffing the river. He can obviously have like some sets. 37, I think we have to call. He may have ace queen, but I don't see him playing this way. He could have jacks, but 37 we just kind of have to call because I think the price is just a little bit too good. Here, using a larger sizing, I'm just gonna go for a call. He has king queen. I don't like his bet, but he did get maximum value, so I can't really talk shit about it. Here on this turn, we're gonna barrel pretty big with the overpot bet against the same player that we just stacked. 3-betting with king, jack 10 suited. Even though his open might be a little strong, but it's against a fish, so I'm not gonna give him too much credit. On this board, we start with the small c bet. We do have overcards and flush draws. With pocket tens there, just the river sizing he was using, I'm always calling because I think it's more likely that it's very likely that he could be bluffing there at like a 25% rate. So we should always call there. On this turn, when we paired, not exactly sure if we should be betting. Since he called the flop, I guess we can go for a check. And maybe like check jam if he bets like too much. He might think we have ace king and then just rips it. And then if he bet like more than half the pot, we're jamming. Don't think he has pocket jacks here, jacks plus. We do get there with the flush. So we're gonna over jam this river. He could definitely have some boats. Not exactly sure where we are right now. I think if he had the bow, we are just meant to lose our stack, so might as well just jam. He does fold, so I guess he called with like pocket fives on the flop or something like that. Ace jack on this board. We're just gonna fold because against two players out of position, I don't know exactly what how we're gonna proceed the turn. Very good flop for pocket kings. Sometimes betting, c-betting, checking behind is a good option too. We're actually gonna go for a check here. Because he doesn't connect with this board that well. If he has a jack, he's almost always value betting the turn. And then if he had the 6, he's value betting the turn, but we're kind of pot controlling, so we're not losing our entire stack. This guy never 3-bets, and he 3-bet our under the gun race, so I'm gonna give him some credit and just fold 10 ace suited. And here, I think we're gonna start betting a little bit. Hopefully we don't get check raised. On this board, just gonna start with the small c-bet. This is actually a really good river because it's less likely he had a 6 now, and we have we can basically get value from a king. So I'm gonna go for an overbet the river. He dunk bet the turn. I don't see a reason to just call here. Obviously he can have like some 10-9. But even against that, we're gonna raise for value, and then I think he's calling with like tons of worse aces, and then by raising, it's easier to get away with the hand knowing that he had us beat, rather than just playing passively by just calling. Gonna punish the dunk bet, and he does fold the river, so I guess he had like nothing there. We're just gonna flow this flop against a regular, and then see how it goes. How are you guys doing today? Gonna bet this river. Not too much though. Let's use a 2/3 sizing. I think it's folding with any like num pair, and it work. Here against the fish raising under the gun and the fish calling under the gun +1. 7-8 suited, I think we can call and then just take a chance that big blind doesn't squeeze, even though we're like out of position. But we do have a hand that plays quite well post flop, especially against 2 fishes. I don't mind playing out of position. We pair a 7 on the turn. Not sure how often they fold here. They did raise under the gun and they call under the gun +1, so this flop hit their range pretty hard, so we're just gonna go for a check. And here, I think we just give up against the fish. And here we flop top 2 pair, bottom 2 pair. Using a larger sizing, I don't expect them to have ace king here because nobody 3-bet us pre-flop. Thanks for saying hi, Crack and Barrel. How are you doing today? We check calling this turn, and we're just gonna fold the river. I read some very disturbing news today. It's regarding a poker player named Suzy Zhao. Suzy Zhao. I used to play with her almost every day at Commerce when I was playing for a living. 5-10 game, 10-20 no cap game. Like she got murdered like a month ago, and then today just more information came out, and the murderer got arrested. And it's just some disturbing news that I don't want to be talking about over the stream. But I wouldn't say she was my friend, but she was somebody that I play against almost every day for 3 years. So it's very sad to see somebody gone like that. Just very unfortunate. If you guys want to read the news, feel free to do so, but that was pretty sad news. So not really in the greatest mood today because I just happened to read the news right before the stream, so it's kind of like the news is very disturbing to me because it is somebody I saw almost every day for a good 3 to 4 year period. So yeah, it's pretty sad. Here facing a 4-bet, we 4-bet and then he just flat call. I feel like he has tons of. We're just gonna start with a check and see what he does. On this turn, I think we bet a little bit. checking this river. We river a queen. He probably thought he was winning 100% there, because I did just flat call ace king against the under the gun race. Do that sometimes. Here he called a turn. He can have jacks. He can have ace king. What sizing should we use? If he had ace king, I think he's calling a jam. He could have aces, but we're never getting away from that. Just gonna put it in. Hopefully he has ace king. And then I don't think he's folding ace king. We do unblock ace king super hard, so it's very likely he have ace king here since he called the turn. But if he had jacks, he probably called the turn as well. But jacks is not gonna call like $50 river bet, so it's the same as, so ripping it versus betting $50 is a sin if you have jacks, because he's folding anyways. So jacks is folding anyways on this board. So it doesn't matter if we bet $50 or if it just rips it in. If he had jacks, he's folding. So, but if he had ace king, we bet $50. We're losing all the values by just ripping. I think he's calling with ace king. When he fold there, his jacks is pretty much faced up. Here on this board, we start with a check. Not exactly sure what we beat here. Only beat like some pocket 7, like 10s and below. So just gonna go for another check. And here we're gonna start with the 3-bet. Turn a king. Club also gets there, so not exactly sure if we should be betting this turn. I feel like he's betting this turn a lot, so we just check it to him. He might bet with like ace of clubs. By end of the session tonight, I'm gonna go over 2 hands that we played yesterday. One was the king jack suited that we check raise the flop, bet the turn, and then check fold the river. And the other hand was the ace 8 versus the cooler hand. So ace 8 versus 7-8. He river a bolt, and then we had top 2 pair. Just gonna show you guys what PO solver think, like what the solver think. I think we made the right decision on one, and then made the wrong decision on another. Here we're deeper against a weaker player, definitely peeling a flop with 9-7 suited. Against a stronger regular, with just 100 big blind stack, we probably just give up. Against the fish that opens 4% of the time, I think we have to call with pocket 3s, even though the blinds does have very high 3-bet frequencies. He does have ace king, but we lost the minimum there. Just gonna call and take a chance. Because for a player like this, and then he has 150, 160, 155 big blind, it's kind of worth it to give you a shot to hit a set. We don't hit a set, but it's a pretty good flop for pocket 3s. I'm not sure like what else we can ask for. He does only open 4% of the time, so he has tons of pocket pairs, but he can also have ace king, so we're just gonna call once and then proceed the turn. A player like this, I don't expect him to barrel too often without the best hand, or without like aces or kings on this board. So if he doesn't have it, he has ace king, he's most likely checking, and then we can just check behind. He does check. We can go for 2 options. We can bet to protect our 3s, and then we can check behind, and then pretty much we're gonna win if the river is not ace and king. But I feel like against this player, we want putting some pressure. So let's use a smaller sizing. When we bet like this, we are wrapping a 7, and then he does instant mock. It's very easy to play against a player like that. I live in Chicago. I heard about it. Yeah, that happened in Michigan, and then yeah, even though like I wouldn't say she's my friend, but we battle against each other for 3 years every day, so it's still disturbing. Like we talk regularly, but I wouldn't say she's my friend, but still somebody I saw almost every day for 3 to 4 years, and just the way that it happened, and then it's just extremely disturbing and kind of upsetting too. That's the thing about so before when me and my wife were having our baby, we were talking about wanting a daughter, but that's the thing about having a daughter. You know, when you get somebody who's crazy like that, it's just really difficult. So girls just have to be like extremely careful when it's out there. Instant call-ins, no reign to kings, unfortunately. It's fine. Not folding there against an unknown player. Not folding there in general against anyone. Unfortunate that he had us there, but we still had 33% equity, which is not the worst. On this flop, we're probably just checking behind. Check calling on this flop is just king. 10 is not the greatest turn. I have no problem losing that hand. It's just cooler. I'm gonna start betting a little bit on the turn. I'll probably use like a little over half the pot. Ace king cutoff versus small blind 3-bet. Never folding there, man. Never in a blue moon I'll fold there. Always just 4-bet and get it in. Super straightforward. Didn't work out for us there, but some other time it will. Just happened that we ran into kings. Small c-bet on this flop, he's folding anything, any ace jack, ace 10 suited type of hands. He does decide to call, and we pick up a gotcha on the turn. I'm not sure if this is the guy we want to go for a triple barrel, but we're gonna try. Don't really have that many stats on him. Oh, we actually do have a lot of stats, so definitely gonna barrel this turn and then just get it in on the river. Just folding to the dunk bet. 3 hearts out there. Not the greatest river to jam. I think we have to give up here. It's just not a good river for us to jam. Yeah, this is kind of like a shitty wrong out. I'm just gonna check behind. Expecting to have ace queen there quite often. I think the river saved us in some way. He's never folding the river, so the river saved us some money. Because any other river we're jamming. Not sure if somebody that he's gonna fold ace queen there. I don't think so. Even though he doesn't know how we play, but I just don't see how he fold ace queen there. He has tons of hands, so I don't think he's like terrible or anything. This guy seems like a recreational player with a huge stack, so defending our blind with the 10-6 suited. Not the greatest flop. And here on this board, I think we go for a small c-bet. Here we're checking back. Just gonna fold against the weaker player because I don't think when he checked the second time, we're gonna start betting. Queen does help our range a little bit. 3 betting with pocket jacks. Pretty good flop for jacks. Gonna go for a pretty big C bet. Just get it in if he shoves. Not folding on this board. He can have like 2 overs and flush draws, and we're flipping against that. Queen jack offsuit facing a 3 bet. We're just gonna muck. Suited we definitely call. Defending queen jack offsuit, they're like in a very low frequency. Here on this board, I think we just go for a check. Just give up. Yes, it's very sad, man. Very, very sad. Especially after finding out like how it happened, it just really irritates me. On this turn, I think we're gonna start betting when he checked the second time. We do have an open-ended straight draw if he does call. Yeah, sometimes I'm like glad I have a son, so I don't have something like that to worry about. King jack, 3 betting is okay, calling is okay too. Flop 2 pairs. Not the best 2 pair. Ace 10 is the nuts here, and then we do lose to king queen. Just gonna call here. No reason to raise on this type of board. He checked the turn. We're gonna bet a little bit. Hopefully call with like ace queen, something like that. He doesn't. And here we're not folding on this flop yet to a small bet, and then we do turn a 10. Just gonna check it to him. He overbets, and we're not gonna fold to that yet. Probably just check call, and depending on how big he bet the river, most likely check calling the river as well. Not folding after this river, I think, unless he goes like cuckoo and goes like 100 pot or something. He might get greedy here, but I think we have to call. And we do just pick up the pot. I already made up my mind on the turn. When we call the overpot bet, we're not folding after calling an overpot bet like that out of position. He can bully us all day long, and then we're still calling like a freaking sticky fish. On this board, we call, and then this turn, I think we're supposed to bet out. We can wrap tons of jacks. He does call. And then that's one of the shitty river that hits his range pretty hard. I think we have to just give up here. And then we do have the best hand. That's nice. That's what happened when you have position, man. On this board, he check called the turn, so he must have like a king here. Queen 9, okay. I don't have sisters or daughters, but women I've dated have taken turn to get comfortable. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the news, I mean, so the guy is saying that she left with all her belongings, but the report didn't say that. The report says that her cell phone stayed at the hotel, at the bar. And then they met at the bar, so you can just imagine what happened. She was probably drunk, and then this guy with tons of violence history is out there in the civil world instead of in a jail. And he was taking advantage of a drunk lady. Just a piece of shit, man. And then like if you read into more details, like what he has done to her, and then afterwards and stuff like that. It's just super disturbing, really upsetting, honestly. Here we're doing it 4-bet and then get it in, obviously, if he shove. Hopefully we don't run into aces, and this is a perfect flop to shove. Just gonna jam. Here we do turn a... he has kings. Luck is pretty bad. He doesn't have a full stack though. Probably gonna just overbet this turn. I think full equity is really good. He's folding any flush draw, and then if he had the queen, it's very difficult to call this bet. Yeah, ran queens into kings. We're both small stacks. I mean, he's a short stack. So, on this river though, I'm calling this. On this river though, I think we can just do a value bet. I think it's very convincing. But blind versus blind, I'm not sure if he's gonna give us credit. He is a regular, so betting using a larger sizing here when we flop middle sets. Playing deeper too as well. We can have like ace x of clubs and then get there on the river and using this value bet, and he's gonna fold like king queen or something like that. So he does fold. Good for us. It worked out. I just don't understand this world sometimes. Yeah, good blessing to be healthy. Thank you for going overhands. I know, right? We're like complaining about bad beats while like people having life and death issues out there. We just have to be glad that I'm able to, streaming here, whether we're losing or winning. At least we're playing a game for fun, right? And then, able to chat with you guys on a daily basis. It's just good fortune to do that. We do flop another set. On this board, we're using a larger sizing, and then this guy, I think, was the guy who had kings over queens. I'm not sure. Checking on this flop, and we flop 2 pair on this board. It's not the greatest, but we're just gonna bet like pretty big and then see how it goes. On this turn, we're gonna start betting. Just half size. Don't think he's folding much, and then we can't really get to bluffing on the river. Just got flat called. I think we bet for value on the turn and then see what he does. Once it's called, he's saying that he has maybe king queen exactly. Definitely not betting this river. Just gonna give it to him. You're in your 20s, don't have children yet, but some of the ugly stuff I see out there, man. Yeah, man, he overjam. I don't know what he's doing, but nice try. We are not the type of fish who's gonna call it overjam, right? Without having the nuts. Much love to you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by my stream almost every day. If you don't mind me asking, Lee, does playing poker take your mind off the negative in lives? I don't know. Poker is kind of negative for us the past couple weeks. He hasn't been kind to us, but it's definitely good to be able to talk to you guys. That makes it. I actually enjoy streaming more than just grinding poker. I mean, I play on natural A I play on not natural A in the morning, but I don't enjoy it as much as I stream. Streaming and then talking to you guys, going over hands and shit like that, hanging out. That's what makes the game fun, in my opinion. With one overcard, we don't have a club in our hand, so it's better to just start with a small c-bet and then see what he does. We're gonna be doing this with like Ace X and Ace of Clubs, something like that, and full equity is really good on that kind of flop. I think seeing my son every day takes the negative out of my life, you know. Running my business, I deal with like so many annoying clients on daily basis. Just tough situations. Have to try to problem solve very often. That's kind of rough, but seeing my son makes everything just click. Cause babies are like so pure. Like babies are like super pure. Like they're always happy. I'm not sure about like how they'll be when they grow up, but now my son's like 10-month old, so he's like happy all the time, and then that makes me happy every time I see him. We're gonna call it bet if he bet the turn, and then possibly call river. It's a brick, cause he does have tons of draws. Normally we fold 6s here, but this guy's a fish, so I'm gonna try to call and then just take a chance. Gonna start betting when he checked the turn. We river a queen, losing to Jack 8. Not exactly sure if he has that. Going for overbet here actually. I think we can wrap like tons of boats. I don't think he's gonna. I think if he had a straight here, he's calling. He's not gonna be like raising on this board. Because we can have tons of boats. We can have pocket nines, pocket tens, and pocket queens. And then we can have like absolutely air. So depending on what he has, I think this is a very good sizing. And I don't think he's check raising with the straight. Straight should be a check call. So we're protected either way. This is the most we'll lose. And then at the same time, we might get called by worse. Let's see if the seed we have been planting, if it works. Especially this guy, we have tons of history together. Yeah, it is. I agree. Like our criminal justice is pretty messed up. Pretty messed up. Gonna lead a turn here. He can have tons of gut shot, queen jack, king queen, and flush draws. Checking behind here, and then we're gonna call a river bet. Everything missed. Three betting with king queen here. We do lose. I was surprised there. I thought we would be winning there. Just gonna check it to him and call. Chop chop. River does save us. Not gonna call under the gun race. Seems like the pool today is has tons of new players. Definitely a good thing. Ace Jack offsuit. 3 betting is okay. Calling is okay. Gonna go for a call here. Do flop top pair top kicker and playing the same guy on this table as well. Gonna put in a little raise here. Since he used like a super small sizing on a dry board. Three betting with ace king suited. Small c bet on this flop. On this flop, we do have a gut shot. to go with our overcards. We don't have any clubs though, so Gamer Unknown, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We do face a raise. Not exactly sure what this means. Obviously, he can have some over pocket, but I don't see a reason that he should be raising with like 7s or 8s. So we're gonna call. And we do turn edge king, and gonna go for a check again. If he bet, we have to jam, and hopefully he doesn't have a set. He flopped a stray, and then we chopped. Okay, we're running good, buddies. We're running good, buddies. Ace 4, flopping a stray like that. Flopping gutter ball against our ace king when we get the king on the turn. He bet so much too. So scared of that flush draw. I'm just gonna give up here. My favorite stream since I have found it, man. Educational and good energy. Thank you so much, Travis-G. Appreciate the kind word. That's my goal. Trying to make the stream as fun as possible while, you know, being super chill. Here with 2 flush draw out there, we're gonna start dunking this turn. Calling with ace jack off, and here facing a 3-bet and a cold call. I think it's okay to put in a 4-bet here with ace queen suited. It's just gonna make our life easier, and then I feel like once this guy folds, it's very hard for him to call. I think we're calling with the gotcha on here at least once, facing that small sizing. He cold called the 4-bet again. I think we use a smaller sizing, and then if it gets called, I think we can get to see 2 cards, because he's most likely checking the turn. Checking behind here. We do turn a queen. Not exactly sure if good for us or bad for us. If he doesn't have that many aces in his range, and he doesn't have that many kings in his range, so I think we basically have the nuts here. And here I think we have to bet the river. I think we just jam here. I don't see any other way. 2 flush draws out there. Good luck to us. He does instant fold. 3-betting with aces. And here we're just wrapping king and queen. If he has like pocket jacks and pocket 10s, he's probably folding. I mean, he should be folding. On this board against a calling station type of player, start with a small c-bet, see what he does. And king 10 here facing a 4-way action, and our bluff does work, because if he had like the way he played the hand, he had tons of pocket jacks and pocket 10s, and by betting the river, like we're just wrapping like king and queen minimum, so it's very hard for that to call. Here king jack suited is a little bit tricky. A fisher player does call, and then here on this turn I think we just bet, and then hopefully the river is not the heart. I guess we overcall here, since there's a caller already. I don't want to isolate. I don't want to squeeze against an under the gun raiser with king jack suited. If it's call, like we're pretty messed up pretty much all the time. So go for it. A rare play, overcalling in position. However, we do have a gutter ball and flush draw, so we're gonna bet this pretty hard, because I think we're the only one who can have like knight 8, knight 7, a7 type of hands. So this flop is pretty good for our cold calling range. And here we do have enough flush draw on the turn. Betting is okay, but I think one of them gonna have an ace. And here we do just pick up the pot. That's nice. I think king high might be the best hand, unless they have like pocket 5s or something. Facing 3-bet from the blind, we have position and we did raise under the gun, so we can wrap tons of ace king, ace queen suited type of hands. Gonna peel a flop in position, and we flop a flush. Life is good, man. Here we flop a flush too. Like it's a freaking 1% chance to flop a flush, and then we flop a flush on 2 hands simultaneously. That's nice. That's like what, like 0.001% chance to flop 2 flushes on 2 tables simultaneously. 1% times 1% is 0.01%, and then we get check raised. We get raised. I'm gonna raise a little more, I think. Actually, we're gonna go for a call, and here we're gonna bet the turn, and we're checking again, pretending like we're drawing, and then we do have the not flush draw, ace for not flush draw, but we already have it. He checked behind. That's a little bit fishy because we blocked the not flush draw, so he cannot have the not flush draw, and then he raised us on the flop, and then I think we go for overbet here. I don't know what he was doing on the flop, just checking. I mean, just raising us and then not betting the turn when the heart didn't get there. Ace jack suited, putting a 3-bet. And here against a weaker player, we're gonna 3-bet with the king queen off. Do you okay 1-2 on natural A lead or bigger stake? I know you mentioned playing live poker. Yes, so I do, but at the same time, I want to do it the right way. So I'm not the type of person who, like, I can definitely afford playing some 10-20, but I'm not just gonna start playing 10-20 with the 10,000 bankroll. I'm gonna build my bankroll to like maybe 30 grand, and I'll start playing like NL 500, and then see how that goes. Just basically playing around my bankroll. Just being smart. You having the track record to beat certain stakes, and you have the money to do it, but it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Like I'm always the type of guy who just build my bankroll up and then play it big again that way, instead of just depositing like 100,000 and then start playing 10-20 right away, because I feel like that's not healthy. Here we can put in a 4-bet bluff. I feel like that's not healthy. Just my opinion, especially I mean, at the end of the day, like we're still, online poker is still technically still not officially legal, so I don't want to put too much money there. I mean, depositing too much money, but if I just build the bankroll there, then it's more reasonable, right? So if I just build the bankroll, I feel like at least those money I earn by playing instead of just depositing like huge chunk of money. And then if for some reason any side gets blocked or something like that, top side we bet using a larger sizing on this flop. News is very toxic. Yeah, that is political. Yeah, yep, that's 100% correct, man. 100% correct. Cash string is bigger than tourney string. Yeah, tourney string is kind of boring. I mean, no matter how many tournaments you play, you can play like 10 tournaments, and there's still not too much going on. Like tournament, I play tournament for fun, and then I get like 50 hands per hour. While playing cash, I get 800 hands on string. If I hustle, I can get like 1,000 hands per hour. That's just way more action for you guys to see, and then it's more interesting that way. Turn gut shot. Against this player, once he called a flop, I think we're just gonna check here. The duration they get for feasible price. I mean, like, as you guys know, like I'm not streaming for like profit or like for like donation or some shit like that. I don't do that shit. Like I'm gonna play cash game like anyways, so why not just put it on string, and then, you know, while playing, having like you guys around to talk to me, and then I can explain my thought process. Maybe that's gonna help you some, you know, down the road or something, if you decide to take poker seriously. And if you don't take poker seriously, it's always fun to hang out with me, since I think I'm pretty cool. So whatever works, right? We flop double gutter, and here we do face a 3-bet from small blind. This is a weaker regular. Calling is fine. Putting a 4-bet is fine as well. Here we probably just go for it pure. Here on this board we can start with a small c-bet. Checking, and we are calling once at least. Turn of flush draw. I don't see any reason to bet this turn. The only hand that's gonna fold is probably Queen Jack and King Queen, and then I feel like this is the board where we get check raised a lot, so we just check behind, and we don't get there. That's fine. And here on this turn, we're checking behind. Pocket fours. That's a little bit loose. That's some loosey-goosey play right there. And also, there's tons of streamers who are just how do I put this? They'll say like how good they are, and they never really put up anything, like, you know, hand history or like their win rate or anything like that. And then tons of YouTubers, they do play cash game, but they only cut their highlights. Here he's never bluffing because we have tons of ace here, and then we're never folding to a river bet, so we're just gonna give it to him. Yeah, there's tons of YouTube cash game players. They just like cut their highlights, and people just see like the juicy hands. But the juicy hands is not the difference between a losing player and the winning player. All the detail, like those, you know, check calling on this flop. Like the boring stuff are what separates a winning player and losing player, and it's not. We're gonna lead this turn and see betting on this flop. He lead out the turn, gonna call. So yeah, so my stream is more for like showing everything. Like when I'm running like shit, I show you guys how I ran like shit. Just because this happens to everyone, if even you are like the very best of the players, it still happens to you. And here we're gonna put in a little raise. On this board, I think we're just gonna check raise and get it in because of the sizing, because of our stacks. He can have tons of flush draw and gut shot type of hands, so we're just gonna. He can have king queen obviously, but with his sizing, we're not folding ace king, so just gonna check raise and get it in. And he does instant mock, so that tells me he was just trying to steal. Bother, thanks for the raid. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Pool play Gothen, thanks for the follow. Dusty Potato 19, thanks for the follow. LOL versus XD, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Once again, appreciated the raid. Thank you so much, Kother. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Open-ended straight draw. We don't have a club, so just gonna start with a check. Yeah, but that's the the general public. They just want to see like the juicy hands. They just want to see the highlights. But at the same time, like most people, they're just watching for entertainment instead of trying to get better at poker or trying to actually know the streamer, right? That's what just the general public perception. Check calling. Check raising is actually fine, I think. We're gonna go for a check raise on this board. He does call, and this is a turn that mostly benefit our range because we have tons of like 9-8, 10-8. 7-8 type of hands and we just get there. At the same time, there's flush draw out there, so we have to be careful. So we're supposed to bet huge on this turn. Obviously, he can have some 8s in his range too, but I think we have 8s more often than he does. Small C bet on this board, and we do just pick up the pot. He did check call on this turn. I think we're checking back and then calling the river a lot. Sure. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Checking back once he checked. We chopped. Here we have open-ended and the backdoor flush draw. On this flop, we're gonna generally using a larger sizing. And this guy is a weaker regular calling station, looks like, by stats. DD for president. Ace of spades on the turn is not the greatest card for our hand, but it's a pretty good card for our range. So we're gonna start keep barreling. We can have tons of flushes, and then we can have ace jack. So just gonna bet and then see what he does. Here we're gonna 3-bet, and obviously we missed everything, and this is probably not a good card for us to bluff. So we're just gonna give up. It's okay to give up because this is not the board that we want to be triple barreling with. He does flopped it, so lucky that the river kind of saved us, so we didn't have to put in a triple barrel. With 3-bet get called by 2 callers. We do have backdoor not flush draw and the gut shot. I think that's enough for a small c-bet. Gonna try to do that. Hopefully we just take it down, and then we do. If it's called, it's not the worst because we do have a lot of potential with our hands. Here we flop over cards and flush draws. Against the fish player, I think we start with like a tiny c-bet as usual. And here ace high could be the best hand, so we're just gonna bet. I actually thought about doing this, so I actually thought about just cutting highlights every day, but I have 3 businesses to run, man. Like I don't have time to like do all the video editing and shit like that. So I wish if I have a professional editor or something, I would like to do that. Just cut the highlights and then, you know, add those emoji and then all kind of shit on the video, and then that way we can grow our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is like shit. I don't get that many viewers at all. Flop goes check. Turn we're gonna bet, and here facing a half pot bet, like we're just never folding here. Here we're just gonna c-bet our range. We have tons of king, queen, ace, queen. Just gonna call and then hopefully get there on the river, and we do. Hoping that he doesn't have a deuce. Just checking back, tons of draw missed, so I feel like 10's the best hand very often. Obviously he can have a better 10, but good luck to us, and he does have a better 10. And on this board, I think we get to second barrel here. Overbet this river. Here we're just gonna ship it. And he called the overbet fairly quickly, so we're just gonna give up here. He has like king, queen, ace, queen here almost all the time. Ace 7 suited. Hello? We just pick up the pot with ace high, buddy. Just pick up the pot with ace high when we c-bet the flop, overbet the turn, and then check the river. He gave up. He probably put us on like something really strong, but whatever. Good for us, man. That's the sign of running good. Rockstock Tank, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Petite Zizit, if I spell your name incorrectly, then pardon me. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Here on this board, we're just gonna do like a small c-bet. I think he's folding anything, everything except like a pair, and then it's very hard to get a pair on this board. Under the gun raise, this guy is probably like a recreational player, and then small blind, flat, weaker player, definitely gonna put in a 3-bet. Gonna squeeze it pretty hard, I think. I guess 4x is right. Against 2 weaker player, do expect them to call, and we do flop middle set. That's nice. The chances of them having pocket kings here is extremely slow, extremely slim. So just gonna think about it and then bet like 70% the pot, because I don't think those fish is gonna mock like king queen and ace king, and there's some flush draw and straight draw out there, so gonna punish those. Checking back with the queen here. Do pick up a backdoor flush draw. On this board, we're just gonna check back. And this is one of the best turn, unless he have like 10-9 of diamonds specifically. Almost impossible for him to have a best hand against our middle sets. So just gonna ship it. And then he's kind of pot committed. If he has like ace king king queen, he's drawing dead. So it's nice. Drawing dead, buddy. Drawing dead. 4th diamond on board. 4 cards straight on board, and then we do have top pair on the river. However, with that sizing, I don't think we are good folding, man. Graphs come up in our what's up, Fabar? If I can just turn off the swish sound, trust me, I would. Flat calling with jacks here. Don't mind a 4-bet, but mostly just a flat. And here we do have a gut shot, but we don't have any backdoor potential, so we're just gonna fold. If there's a spade out there, we can call this dunk bet against the fish. Here ace jack, we're just gonna peel a flop out of position. Facing a small bet, we're definitely not folding yet. We're still ahead of ace king. We're still ahead of pocket tens. Even if he had aces or kings, with this board he should be scared that we have a queen, so he might slow down on the turn. And here we check calling with the middle pair top kicker. Here we still beat ace king, so I guess we just check. Facing this bet, knowing him, he's not the type of guy who's gonna give up, so I feel like if we call here, we have to call a river. Here we're just gonna check back. We block tons of straight draw, so I'm not too worried about anything other than an ace or king on the river. I think we give it to him. Our hand doesn't have that much potential anymore. If the ace come, he could have like ace queen, and then we're gonna lose a huge pot. If he had, if another jacks come, I don't think we're gonna get too much value out of this. So just gonna give up and give it to him. And on the river, he bet pot, but since we checked the turn, we're not folding the river. Queen jack, okay. So he pulled a. We did have him dominated, sort of, but he did get there on the river. Happens. Happens. Once he checked the turn and then we check back, like we're never folding the river. It's unfortunate that he had it there. But sometimes he can be bluffing, so I don't really mind that. Here with queens, I'm trying to figure out our sizing because he is we're pretty deep. This guy seems like kind of bad though, so let's just go for a huge 3-bet. And we flop top sets. Against a player like this, I think we start with a check, and then especially we're a little deeper. And on this board, we're like having the nuts, and there's not too many bad turns, so I guess we can give a free card, and then he can always bluff. So he does check back, and it's an ace on the turn. Trying to think if we're gonna bet this turn. I think he can have some ace queen here, so we're gonna start betting. Don't want to lose too much value, and then he does instant mug. So I guess he had like small pocket pair or something. That's very unfortunate. If he had like ace king there, that would be really sweet. We'll be taking his entire stack, most likely. As you got rated by Norwegian Ultra Grinder main fan. Don't mess with YouTube, it's practically impossible to grow. Yeah, I'll have to agree. With the gush shot, I guess we'll have to call with the gush shot. Folding is too weak. Thanks for Cash Grinder. My man, loving the stream. Can you tell us what kind of business do you run? I own a auto business, so I own a auto broker business. I own a auto service business, and I also own a auto rentals business. So they're all auto related. On this board, we're gonna start with a small c bet. Not small c bet, like small bet. He 3-betted and checked the flop. Swaropa, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, auto business. And thanks for loving my stream, man. Means a lot. Means a lot to me. Here we're just gonna bet the turn. Straight M98 baller. Thanks for the good luck. We definitely need it. And this is a pretty clean run out, unless he have like ace queen or king queen of heart or something. Like with ace of heart, I think we have the best hand, and we're checking back a lot here. Unless he just dunk jam the river, then we'll have to fold. He does just dunk bet the river. That's unfortunate, but we're never winning here when he does this. Here we're gonna call once with pocket threes. Don't really like it, but gonna fold it to the dunk bet. He's never bluffing there when he lead like that on that kind of board. Worst turn possible. Diamond gets there, ace gets there. We don't beat nothing anymore, so just gonna give it to him. Pretty easy fold. 3-betting with 7 ace suited. Here we do have second pair. Against somebody who fold to 3-bet very often, I think we can just use a small c-bet quite confidently. We do get called. On this board, we don't really have any potential. This is the type of board we just do like a one-time c-bet and then give up if it gets called. But full equity is still pretty good. It's folding like any type of Jack 10 type of hands. We do pair our 8s on the turn, so I guess we go for the barrel here because he can have some flush draws. On this board, we're just gonna check. Probably check call because we have the ace of clubs. And we get rips on. That's unfortunate. There's nothing we can do but to fold. He does have like some Jack 10 of diamonds or something like that. Queen Jack of diamond, Queen 10 of diamonds. Flush gets there. Actually, we're gonna bet this turn and then like bluff the river. Just gonna fold here. It's unfortunate. Like he can still have some draws, but more often than not, he has like a real hand. And This is not the greatest river for us to be doing something crazy with. Because we can have like tons of draws here, and then this looks like one of the safest rivers, so I don't think we should bluff this river. I can be wrong though. Yeah, I don't think this is a good river to bluff. Just gonna give up. And here we missed everything. Can we wrap the flush here? Not gonna bother against a Fisher type of player, so just gonna give up. Here we do face a jam. Don't think he's bluffing that much because we did bet the turn with the we were wrapping a flush when we bet the turn, and then when river paired the board and then we check and then he just all of a sudden rips. Most likely he had a bolt. I don't see him bluffing here because we have a flush very often here, and we do river astray. I'm trying to figure out if we should do a value bet. I think we should. What kind of sizing do we use? I think we use an overbet sizing, and then if he has a 10, he's probably gonna check raise or just call. But I think we can get tons of value from like 2-pair type of hands. Unfortunately, he does instant mock. But at least we tried, right? Pocket nice, under the gun raise and under the gun +1. 3-bet, we're just gonna fold. Here on this board, starting with a small c-bet. Hopefully we can get there if it gets called. He does only have 92 left. Ace 10 here. I think we pure a flop because the fish is in the pot, and here we do get double raise and just gonna ship it in. And he does fold. I'm not sure what hand he would be like double raising the flop and then like folding to a jam. It's really weird, but not going to try to figure out how fishes play, so it is okay. On this turn, flop goes check, check, check. This guy can potentially have ace king, king. I think he's betting with king queen, so he could potentially have ace queen or ace jack. So ace jack just sucked out, and we don't really beat much anymore with that turn. All 3-bet gets cold called by the big blind. He normally doesn't have that strong of a range, so we're just gonna start with a small c-bet. I expect us to just pick up the pot quite often. Unfortunately, he doesn't fold. Here against 2-player, 6-4 suited. This guy is definitely a recreational player. So is this guy. So we're gonna peel a flop with suited 6-4 and checking back on the ace. And here we're just gonna fold. Like we don't beat anything after that turn. We do have bottom pair, but do we wanna bet here? Do we wanna call here? Probably not. Once flop goes check check, gonna start betting the turn. Here facing this small bet, he's saying he has king jack, king queen. I'm trying to think if we should turn our hand into a bluff or just called. We do block queen jack pretty hard, so I think we should go for a raise. Just turn our hand into a bluff. It's kind of ambitious, but I think he doesn't have that many ace in his range, so he's doing this with the king. Just a king is very hard to call a raise on the river, and then we do just pick up the pot. So I was thinking that he was doing that with the king, and then obviously we don't beat a king, right? So if we just call the river small bet, then we're gonna lose to a king. And we have jack, so we block queen jack super hard. So the chances of him having queen jack is extremely low, which is the nuts. So I can feel pretty confident just doing a raise on the river, because we can have queen jack here, and we can have all the aces up as well. So he doesn't have an ace when he bet that small on the river. It's more like he had a it's very likely he had the king and then try to get value, and then we just punish him super hard, and then it does work, so which is nice. He dunk bet the turn. He can be doing this with like 10-9, so we're gonna put in a raise. Not gonna just let him dunk bet us like that. Here we barreling the turn, and here we flop top 2 pair. Definitely gonna raise on this board. Tons of flush draw and straight draw out there. We do face a double raise. Not exactly sure what he's doing this with. Obviously he can be doing this with the 6, but he can be doing this with the... I don't think he's doing it with the flush draw. Here we do face a 3-bet, then I think it gets a little bit more serious. He could have like aces up here, and then we do only have an ace with without a kicker, so I can feel comfortable just to muck here. Don't see him ever bluffing here against our range. We did raise under the gun. We can have tons of sets. We can have ace jack, and he doesn't care, so we're just gonna fold. Here we probably just gonna fold as well, because I just don't see him raising with the flush draw on when the board paired on the turn. So queen 10 we don't really be much. Just gonna give it to him. Against a 6 we're drawing to 2 outers, so I don't see any reason to go crazy, go cuckoo there, out of position. Sub to the YouTube, love the gameplay. Thank you so much. How's the session? We have been playing pretty well, but I don't. If you guys have been following me, I don't really look at the stats until after the session. I just worry about like if we're playing well or not. If we're playing bad, then we try to stop playing. If we're playing well, then don't really care about we're winning or losing, because if we're playing correctly in the long run, we're always gonna win. So I'm not too concerned about our daily results. Ace Jack suited. Gonna put in a squeeze because of the Fisher player. Check calling once with mid pair. He did raise he did 3-bet under the gun raise, so he has a pretty strong range. And on this board, start with a small c-bet, and then we do get called by 2 spots. Gonna start with the small c-bet. We do have backdoor flush draw and then 2 overcards. Just gonna fold the turn, because we can have some king queen ace king there playing the way we did, but he seemed like he didn't care, so just gonna give him credit. And we do just pick up the pretty nice pot using a smaller c-bet. Folding pocket 10s facing a 3-bet. I think we're gonna put in a 4-bet here. Haven't been 4-betting too often this session, so gonna balance our range a little bit. Start 4-betting a little bit for value and sometimes for bluff. And we do just pick up the pot. Brilliance Aura, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Here facing a small stack, like a tiny stack. Ace 7 is not the hand that we're gonna go crazy with, but we does have some chance to flop 2 pairs. So against 4 player, we can give it a shot. Here we're just gonna go for 20 and then just ship it on the flop. Or he can just fold. Not gonna complain when we pick up the pot 100% of the time without any variance. Ace 8 offsuit against 3 fishes behind us. Gonna open white. King Jack offsuit, middle position. We do face a 3-bet by the small stack. Just gonna fold Ace 8. You don't wanna fall in love with the offsuit ace 8, ace 9, ace 7, those type of hands. They're pretty useless. They don't do you any good. Only do harms to you, man. Gonna play those hands with caution. Defending with queen jack off. Flop a gut shot. Probably go for a check raise on this board. If we have diamond, definitely check raising, but this is a pretty good flop for our range. And here we are 3-betting with ace 5 suited. He did call, and on this turn I think we barrel, and then possibly have to barrel off the river. We'll see what the river is. We flop a gut shot and backdoor flush draw. Definitely good enough for a c-bet. He does call again, and I'm not sure if this player is capable of folding after calling twice. Obviously he can have some, like, I guess we still be like 10 jack. Spade on the turn is not the greatest, so we're gonna check. Do we barrel this river? I mean, if we bet the river, we're only wrapping 8s, and I'm not sure if he's gonna buy that when every single draw missed, so we're just gonna check it to him. And here, unfortunately, we had to fold the turn against the fish player. He doesn't have that much behind. He does have king jack of diamond. That's kinda suck. That sucks. That sucks. Maybe we should just bet like a little bit on the river. How much was the pot on the river? Hindsight 2020. Obviously, if we knew what that's what he had, then we have to bet. That's unfortunate, but we did pick up some decent pot with ace high as well when people miss their draw and give up. It's unfortunate that we had the worst hand there. Pot was 89, so maybe we bet like 50 should get it done. Well, now look back. Of course that was the right play, but he could easily have like pocket jacks there, pocket queens, and then just snap us off. So can always be bluffy. We can be bluffy sometimes, but not always. Always being bluffy is not good. How do you feel about calling a 3-bet out of position with pocket pairs? Like, I try not to do that. Here facing a small blind 3-bet, we're just gonna fold. His range is generally strong. I don't normally, yeah, pocket 5s and pocket 6 is out of position against a good player. It's not the best time to peel for stats. Against fishes, yes, you can do that. Against good players, no. It's always better to just fold this type of hands. Yeah, sometimes you can peel for a set. Definitely agree with that. Here with the second pair, I think we're gonna use a small c-bet. If we're playing bad, we stop. Plantsman is a smart man. Yep, that's what we're trying to do. Here facing a dunk bet. Here we do, turn is pretty good. Just gonna barrel the turn. I guess raising is okay. I guess we go for the call. Don't mind a raise as well. He checked the turn. There's no reason for us to bet the turn, especially when he dunk bet the flop. I'm thinking he has like maybe king of spades or something. Just gonna check back, or maybe we can do like a blocker bet. If he flop a flush, he's obviously gonna check raise. Here facing a check raise against a regular, we're checking the river. Pocket tens, he's drawing pretty much dead. Against this player, I'm not buying having an 8 here. I feel like we have the best hand very often here. guess we call and then see a river. Definitely not folding now. He has an 8, he has an 8. It's a perfect river for him. Ace Queen suited. Here we're gonna put in a 4 bet. Especially against the snap call. Oh, he does have an 8. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts a little bit. But I think we're calling regardless. That river just makes us easier to call, but I think against a regular we have to like make a stand sometimes. Here checking behind, I don't think we get value from anything else, so might as well just check back and hope that he's gonna bluff the river. Yeah, that pot is how much was the pot? It's not that bad, right? It's like 100 or something. We lost like 100 something there. 130. So yeah, just a cooler. I don't mind it. Against a regular, we have to like make a stand sometimes. When he check raise, doesn't mean that he has it. Unfortunately, he had it there, but doesn't mean that he always has it. Facing this bet, obviously calling. Probably call again if he barrels. Calling and folding to a shove on the river. That's not a good card for us. Yikes. Just not a good card for us. If he's barreling with Ace King, he gets there. Don't think he would bet that quickly without having it. Pretty close. Pretty close. We only beat the bluff, obviously. We beat like jacks. We beat tens. We block jacks though. Just gonna give it to him. Just bet without even thinking about it. Like instant bet. Chillax, bro. Shit. I'm looking to get to around 50k and maybe look for coaching. That's a good idea. At 5k now, running like God. 16 BB per 100. That must feel good. What game do you play, sir? 604 cap. 16 big blind feels good. For sure, it feels good. Rob Brewer, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Defending with Jack Deuce suited. Probably 3-betting with this hand. Don't like to just flat call with an offsuit ace, because we do block his aces and ace king. He does call. Start with a small c-bet on this board. Calling with sixes. Not the bad flop for sixes. We turn a gut shot. Gonna start out betting, and here we're gonna bet for value. Check calling with sixes with just one overcard, and we do turn a gut shot. He check call again. He check called the flop. Against the calling station type of player, we probably just checking back here. Not the greatest turn. Not the greatest river. He could definitely have some queen. And pocket fives hold. And pocket sixes hold as well. People are not trying to bully us today. That's good. 3-betting with ace 10 suited against this calling station type of player. He does have over 200 big blind, so suited ace 3, we probably go for a 3-bet. This guy is kinda tight though. Yeah. Definitely don't expect him to call a 3-bet blind versus blind without premium hands. So we can just abuse him. 16 BB per 100 is awesome. Using a larger c-bet on this board. Ace is not the greatest card. First of all, he could be peeling with like Ace Jack, Ace 10, and he can have Jack 10, and then he just hit the nuts, so you're gonna check back. And river is not as good for us as well. We don't really beat anything on this board. Just gonna fold. Pretty easy fold. Defending with 6s. We check on the flop. We do have open-ended on the turn, so gonna start betting a little bit, try to take it away. He instant called. I'm guessing he has like something to do, like he has a hand that has something to do with the queen. Maybe he has like ace queen. Just gonna check. When he bet the river, I don't think we beat much. Just gonna give it to him. Here on this board, we're gonna start with a small c-bet. When we check the turn, I feel like we're obligated to bet. Pocket deuces that cut off, we can open. We do get check call. I feel like he has more draw here. Let's go for a 2x pot. Actually, it's probably not worth it. Against someone we have tons of history with, it's okay to give up sometimes, I guess. He does have a boat, so good thing we didn't go crazy there. Sometimes it's okay to just give up against regulars you play against almost every day. You just have to mix it up, you can't always bluff. Not the greatest turn. Pocket deuces are pretty worthless. Check. Using a small c-bet on this board, we do block not flush draw, so turns a queen. I think we're checking back this turn a lot. And calling his bet if he decides to go for the river bet. He doesn't. We're gonna go for a little value bet here. We have tons of missed flush draws. Here facing a weaker regulars, and then he does 3-bet from small blind, which means stronger range. And we do have a hand that can potentially win a lot of money against aces and kings, so we're gonna call and peel a flop. You just crack aces with pocket kings 2 times in 1 hour. Wow, that feels good, man. That's nice. That's nice. Facing this huge bet, I guess we just fold. You can have it, buddy. Don't have to be all upset with the overbet. Can I link your graph result and one interesting hand? Of course you can. Chilling, liking the commentary and strategy. Thank you for the kind word, Rob. Welcome to the stream. This is what we do, man. This is what we do. On this board, we're just gonna go for a small c-bet, and then if it gets called, we just basically shut down with the ace on board. We do pick up gut shot, but I feel like if he's calling this flop, he has tons of ace, and I don't think. I guess he has a 9. We can barrel him off, but more often than not, he has an ace here. Nice hand. King queen suited, we're gonna put in a 3-bet. Gonna make it extra large too because we're playing deeper. Pocket deuces is a fold. Feel free to link your hands and we can all take a look at it. Overcard and flush draw, gonna start with the small c-bet. Hopefully we can just take it down. If not, I don't mind a call. We do get there on the turn. We can barrel. We can go for a check raise. I think barreling is probably better in general. If he calls, let's just hope that the river doesn't pair the board, because he can have some sets here. Pocket aces, pretty good hand, especially a fish loose aggressive player open. And this is a pretty good river. I think we just jam. Gonna use a relatively large sizing against a loose aggressive fish player. And instant call, and then he does have a flush. Jack 9 of spades, unlucky for him, good for us. We turn an ace, I'm gonna bet. And here with aces we start with a check. On this turn we're gonna start betting. The reason why I check there is because we do have the ace of spades, so I'm not too worried about him having a flush draw. In order for him to have a flush draw there, he has to have specifically king queen of spades, because we blocked the not flush draw. Gonna bet the turn pretty big though. Do you play differently between Zoom players and non-Zoom cash game? No, you're not supposed to play differently. When you are playing Zoom versus regular table, you should play the same. Pretty good river. Everything missed. Trying to think if we should go for a value bet or we can. Let me think. Trying to figure out if we should go for a value bet or just jam the river. I think we can just jam the river. Let's just do that. Or we can value bet 60, I guess. Let's just go for the jam. Going for maximum value, man. I feel like he has like ace 10, king 10 there sometimes. But with the way that he just instant folded, he didn't have that. Not exactly sure what he was calling with on the turn though. Maybe some kind of gutter ball or something like that. Not exactly sure. Here with the kings, obviously putting a 3-bet. Opening with pocket 5s here, a little bit loose, but I don't mind it. You're not supposed to play differently between Zoom games and regular games. On this flop, it's not the greatest. We're gonna start with the check. Not exactly sure if we can get away if he flop a set. Maybe if the turn is like a 4-card straight or something, then we can get away. But he can definitely have some sets here. However, we just turn the top set. We're losing to Jack 8. I don't think Jack 8 calls the pre-flop 3-bet. And I don't think 6-8 calls pre-flop 3-bet either. So pretty confident we had the best hand here. Just go for the value bet. And if he had a set, he's raising this turn. Jack A suited might call a 3-bet, but it's very, very loose. Trying to figure out what sizing do we use here. Maybe we can go for a check raise on the river. 5 doesn't change anything. If he had 2 pair, he's betting the flop. So I'm guessing he had like some type of like ace 10 type of hands. Ace 10, like king 10 type of hands. I don't think he value bet ace 10 on the river, which means we should go for value bet. If he had a straight, he's definitely like raising. If he had a set, he's definitely raising on the turn. So I'm guessing he has like ace 10. Let's just target ace 10. I think ace 10 will call like 85. Maybe bet a little too much. Maybe like 50. 50 might be better. I think 85 is a little bit too heavy. We have tons of ace king in our range, so gonna be very difficult for him to call with ace 10. But he might call, we don't know that, right? So check calling on this flop. King Jack. Okay, I guess that worked. I feel like the sizing was a little too big for ace 10, but since we block, we have pocket kings, so we block kings super hard. Check folding on the turn. I mean, we can call with ace high, but I feel like this guy is jamming the river a ton. Play with him before, he's very loose and very bluffy, and we do block the not flush draw, so he's not doing that with the flush draw. Facing a raise and 3-bet, definitely gonna put in a 4-bet and get it in against this guy. Yeah, so here, I feel like 85 was a little bit too big for ace 10 to call, because we can obviously have ace king. But we do block pocket king. We have pocket king, so we block kings super hard. So he had the case king. So it's very hard to target king for a bet there. I think the only hand that makes sense was probably ace 10. And then 85 was a little bit too big for ace 10. After I bet it, I realized I should probably use like 50 or 55 sizing. But it worked out. He had a king jack. He might think he had a shot beating pocket queens and pocket jacks. But we wouldn't play that way. We wouldn't bet pocket queens and pocket jack on a river. We'd just go for a check on the river. And maybe check call. So, but you don't know how people think, and people don't know how good you are. So you should never just assume anything. Also, how many hands do you play with someone before you tag them a certain weight? I can tag a fish fairly quickly. I tag regulars differently. This guy is definitely a recreational player. Checking back the river, not exactly sure what we beat here. I feel like he has like a small pocket pair or something. King 10, wow. That call on the turn was very ambitious. He was right though, King 10 was the best hand. But most likely we're gonna barrel the river, so I'm not sure if that check call with King 10 on the turn was good. Against regulars, it's a little bit different, but I can spot a fish pretty quickly. Maybe like 1 or 2 hands, just the way they play the hands, the way they cold call, the way they play certain hands at certain position that they shouldn't be playing. Then yeah, I can spot that like almost instantaneously. Also, you can spot a fish, like this is a fish, because he doesn't have a full stack, so I just automatically assume he's a fish. And then, yeah, I can spot a fish from miles away. Very lucky hands, all the money winning on the flop, as you can imagine. I was very excited. I'm trying to reach 5k-ish so I can take it live. I love this game with all my heart. Those are, you know, good comments to hear, because I used to love the game when I was in my early 20s. Obviously, I'm in my mid 30. I'll say early 30. I'm 34, so let's just put it early 30s. I still love the game, but I don't love the game as I think I used to love the game a lot more than right now. Here, this is a tricky spot with pocket jacks. I don't think we should be folding yet, but this is a very tricky spot. Mid position open, small blind 3-bet generally means stronger range. I think we should call though. If we get squeezed, we can probably just fold. This guy doesn't squeeze that much, so I guess we go for the call. Rarely do this. Normally always a 4-bet, but this is a little bit different. So he jammed that. Now we can just fold pretty easily. Good thing we didn't 4-bet. If we 4-bet, we probably like lose like $30 more or so. But I'm not exactly sure if he's gonna jam if we 4-bet, because this call is really weak. And now this guy jams, so he has like freaking aces. This guy can have like ace king. But this guy has a real hand, 100%. He has aces and kings for sure. So we're gonna fold and see. He has ace king and ace. Okay, so it's pretty close. We do stock out and we lose to ace king. Ace king had a flush at the end. Not flush. And here we turn a gut shot, but I'm not sure if we should be betting this hand. I guess we should. So at least we get some full equity. And if he calls, we can always hit our overcards, gut shot, or diamonds. And we do just pick up the pot, which is always nice. 604 cap. I will have to read. I'll have to read those graphs after the session is over. I'm gonna wrap up my session in like 10 minutes or so. So I'll take a look at your graphs after the session is over. So give me like 10 minutes. And I'll go over 2 big hands that I played yesterday, and then gonna go over like what solver think I should have done. If you guys were here yesterday, you guys probably would be interested in that breakdown. Pretty interesting actually. Pocket nice. 3-betting against a regular. On this flop, we're just gonna go for a small c-bet against 2 players. Actually, we're gonna use a larger bet. Yeah, using a larger bet. Hopefully, we just want to get away, like get this guy out. Hopefully he folds. If he doesn't fold, then we have to just be careful. And he does call. Turn is the ace of diamond. Not the best turn, but not the worst. We do have some ace in our range. But I think we're checking with the ace queen here. We do block king jack, so I'm gonna go for a check. He does check behind, and river is another diamond, and then we have the not diamond blocker. Probably just go for a check. I expect us to chop very often unless he has like 2 hearts. Yeah, we have the same hand. Yeah, I expect us to chop very often there. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the graphing a little bit in 10 minutes after we wrap up the session. Here he does check call on the flop. We don't have any equity, so it's okay to just give up. King jack suited. We should be 3-betting him, especially we're deeper. I feel pretty confident just putting a 3-bet and play in position against a worse regulars. Here facing under the gun raise and the 2 cold call, definitely gonna squeeze this one pretty hard. Gonna make it 35, and then calling a jam pretty much. Calling his jam. Don't think those 2 have any real hand. Just gonna flat call ace queen here just to mix up our calling range. Mostly 3-betting though, and we do just pick up the pot. That's nice. Never complain when we have 0 variance. Betting this flop with top pair. Ace jack off. We can go for 3-bet or fold. Just gonna fold here. Check calling since we didn't 3-bet pre-flop. Not gonna just give up on a dry flop. Folding here, 7-8 suited. We do river a queen, so I feel like checking is probably better here because we're gonna be checking if we have a jack, and then we play like we have a jack. So Just gonna check it to him, and most likely he's gonna try to bluff, and then we just pick up extra money. Oh, we have the same hand. Okay, that's not the plan, but you know, at least we tried. At least we tried. That's all it matters, right? Always try for the most efficient way to get some money. 3-betting this guy. Not exactly sure. Like, I think he is a solid player, but how solid, I'm not sure. Definitely not worth our red tag yet. I think we only red tag like 3 players in this level. There are like 3 regulars. I think is really good. I think that's about it. Most regulars were just whatever. He does 4-bet from mid position. We are never calling with ace queen off, because this is like a trouble hand. In a 4-bet pot, it's almost always losing, no matter what the flop is, unless like ace queen queen or something. Even that, we still lose to aces. Ace queen offsuit in a 4-bet pot is just not good. You can hardly get any value when you have the best hand, and then you're losing a ton when you don't have the best hand. QQ Beast Mode, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? And thanks for the follow. We flop a flush draw, definitely check calling. Pocket aces under the gun. Half pot bet. Pretty confident to just call. We had the pair on the turn. Checking. We do face 3-bet under the gun +1. I'm gonna go for a 4-bet here. He bet 15, but we do have a pair to go with our flush draw, so we're not folding just yet. Money's just going in. Why is it an interesting hand? And just gonna check. Hopefully he give up, so we win with pair 8s. Just give up. Check back, bro. Check back. Check back. He has to be extremely greedy to go for a third street here with like king queen or ace king or something like that, but he does go for it. What do we beat here? What do we beat here? We do beat a flush draw. What else do we beat here? Oh, we have no time. Shit. I was actually thinking about calling, but it's whatever. Small C bet here. It's a one-shot thing. Gets called, we give up. Facing a 4-bet. This guy never 4-bets yet, but it's only 31 sample. Shit, that is a ton. Are we folding queens here? I'm not sure. We do attacking a fish, so just gonna jam. Good luck to us. Good luck, boys. This guy never 4-bets. We are going in because we had him tag as a fish. His stats states otherwise because he never 4-bets in 31 tries, but not gonna fold queens versus a fish. See, like this is why like the game is so sick. This is pretty sick. Like this guy never 4-bets. He never 4-bets in 31 opportunities. And then he was 4-bet bluffing. How sick is that? Or maybe he folded ace king, I don't know. But I guess he could fold ace king when he played that tie. If somebody who never 4-bet in 31 opportunities, like 0% 4-bet rate, and then he's 4-betting and folding an ace king, like what is he doing? But maybe that's why we tagging as fish, but that's crazy. I totally expect us to just go in. All the chips going in for battles, man. Here, I'm not gonna call 4-bet with queen 10 suited. Here facing a fish. However, he only raised 13% of the time, so we kind of have to respect him a little bit, I guess. But doesn't mean that we're gonna stop 3-betting his ass. Here, just gonna fold. Mostly 3-betting there, but we only have 2 seconds in time bank, so I'm not exactly sure it's you know, with two seconds in our time bank, and then we're gonna go after someone who have like 250 big blind. Not exactly sure if the smartest decision to go into battle without time banks. But yeah, man, it's okay to fold. Ace-8 suit is not the best hand in the world. Here, this guy, so you see him mid 3-betting, you can just automatically assume he's a fish. So that's what I'm talking about. Just one hand, you can tell he's a fish. You mentioned how you crushed in 2008 with 2007, 2008. Do you think it's still possible to make those stakes in 2020 from 200? I played so I played 510, 1020 no cap live, so I didn't play online. The highest I played online was 2-4. That was about it. And then Black Friday happened and I couldn't play anymore, obviously, so I went to live. That was before ACR and Ignition and all the US friendly side becomes available. So yeah, I played 1020, 510 no cap game, but those are live, so I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say. Obviously, I can still crush 510, 1020 no cap. Absolutely no problem. Live games are so soft, it's unreal. It's unreal. With the gut shot and backdoor flush shot, we're gonna start with a small c-bet. Yeah, live games so soft. Like 510 no cap plays worse than 50 NL online. True story. I can guarantee you that. Facing a huge check raise. Not happy about it, but probably just gonna give it to him. Whatever. Yeah, so 1020 no cap plays maybe similarly to like 1-2, I think. It's a little tougher, but 510 no cap is like really soft. I feel like that game is softer than 50 NL. I'm not sure. I don't feel there's too much difference between 50 NL and 200 NL on ACR. I feel the 50 NL players are really solid on ACR. Because I played that game for like 150 hands to start our COVID bankroll challenge shit. So I actually feel like 50 NL on ACR is extremely tough. Extremely tough game. Just gonna fold without any extra equity. And here we're gonna 4-bet, obviously. Gonna make it bigger too, because we're playing like pretty deep. And we do just pick up the pot. Not gonna complain. Not gonna get greedy and then raise a little less just to get him into the action. Because if you raise too little, playing 250 big blind deep, people gonna call you like weak pocket pairs. And then it's gonna bite you in the ass later if they flop a set. And then you'll be kicking yourself for like not raising enough. So when you play like 200 big blind deep, like you just have to be extra careful and you cannot be greedy. Like you have to be happy just win, you know, when you face a 3-bet, just 4-bet huge and then just take down the pot versus 4-betting not enough and then getting like small pocket pair to call, and then that's gonna get you into trouble. Small c-bet on this flop. Gonna wrap up the session and then gonna go over the 2 hands we played yesterday and then show you guys what solver think about our play. I don't think I ever go through solvers on stream yet, so it might be something pretty interesting for you guys to see. We flop middle sets. I think we have to go in here. On this turn, we just bet for value. a fish player does bet out, and there's a call. Obviously we're losing to a9, but the chances are very slim. And then even if they have a9, we still have equity to we still have like 35% equity. So gonna raise it to 25. See what they do. See what they do. Hopefully they have pocket sixes or two pair. This guy instant call, so I'm hoping for like a clean turn so we can rip it, or we can bump the turn super hard. Talk about a clean turn. Talk about a clean turn. What do? We do like a small bet, super tiny bet, just to get both of them to call, or maybe one of them gonna raise. Talk about a clean turn, bros. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about a clean turn. How clean is that turn? That feels good. And then the river is a 5. Can we get value by jamming? I think we might be able to. Trying to think what kind of sizing do we use against two players. They both call either, so I feel like one of them is gonna call the jam, right? I feel like one of them is gonna call the jam. Or we can bet like 70 and then both of them will call. Nah, let's just go for the jam. I feel like there's a good chance one of the fish is gonna call. Call with the ace 10, bro. Ace 10 is the nuts. He does call. Queen 10. Oh my goodness, that's awful. How can he just stay there with a queen 10? Super sticky guy. Holy shit. Call a check raise on the flop, so he called the C bet. Call C bet. Call a huge check raise after the original raiser already called. And then overcall a turn bet. And then overcall a river jam. Unbelievable. On this flop, we're just gonna check back with the flush draw. We're getting check raise a lot here on this board, and then he connects with his big blind calling range super hard. He checked the turn, then we're just gonna start betting a little bit. We do pick up a gut shot, but it's not the greatest gut shot. Definitely losing this river unless he have like 2 clubs or 2 diamonds. Ace 10 is the best hand. Nice hand, buddy. King Jack. I think that's it for today. Let me just go over the session real quick, and then we'll talk about the hand that we played yesterday. We do pick up another 700 session, almost 3 buy-in. 3 buy-in-ish session. Ran pretty steady. EV is about the same. Let's see how it goes. So it kind of goes sideways, and then we do close at session high, which is pretty good. I don't think there's some interesting hands, but I think I went over live. If you guys wanna, see the interesting hands, go to YouTube, search Daily Poker, and you will be able to see our July review video. I go over probably like 10-11 hands every month, the most interesting 10-11 hands. Obviously we're gonna do that for August as well once August wraps up, but we do have a pretty good winning streak. So this is 7, 21, 100, 2500. It's about like a 3k upswing, plus we're up like natural A about like 2k as well. So we're on a 5k upswing, which is good because obviously you guys can see the downswing in July that we endure. However, things are looking better for August, which is nice. Gonna pull over our the hand that I promised to show you guys. Trying to see what kind of sizing do we use. Not exactly sure how do we do this. Okay, there we go. We can do like this. Okay, so if you guys are not familiar with solvers, I'm gonna try my best to explain it. So the very first hand, we have ace-8 of diamond here. I think it's ace-8 of diamond. Yeah, we had ace-8 of diamond, and it was a hand we played yesterday. I think it's we raised under the gun. We raised under the gun, and button 3-bet us, and then we're like super deep, like 210 big blind deep, 210, 200, like 205 big blind deep. I have 205 big blind. He had like 600 big blind, but it doesn't matter. Effective stack is 200 big blind. It was against like a fish player, really loose, aggressive, bad regulars. We raised under the gun with ace-8 of diamonds, and he 3-bet on the button, and the blinds fold, and then we flop ace-7-4, 2 spades. We check, he bet like half the pot. We decide to just call, which is the correct decision, and then we turn an 8, and we decide to bet out. So we bet out like half the pot on the turn, and solvers say it is supposed to be a check, so we're supposed to check on the turn. So we decided to bet out the turn, but it's not the worst because solver is like a little bit off when it's in like 3-bet pot and like that kind of stuff, because obviously it's not like solver doesn't count the pre-flop action. So on the turn we dunk out half the pot, and then he called, and then the river is a 7, and then we bet like 2/3 the pot, and then he jammed. And with ace-8 here, it's like 99.6% we should call, which we did, especially against a fish aggressive player. We call, so we check call the river, which is the correct decision. Solver tells you to call 99.6% of the time. So I was actually doing, when it happened live, I feel like it was the correct play because I just couldn't see a hand that we lose to, especially he 3-bet on the button against our under the gun race. Just couldn't put him on 7, and we beat anything. I don't think he would 3-bet under the gun open with pocket 4s. So in this situation, the only hand that beat us is 7-8 because we had ace-8 suited, so we blocked pocket aces and we blocked pocket 8s. I'm not sure if he would 3-bet under the gun open with pocket 8s, but it's a possibility because it's a loose fish. However, the only hand I thought that beat us was 7-8 suited, and then he did have 7-8 suited there, 7-8 of spade I think. So he flopped a flush draw, turn 2-pair and flush draw, and then river a bolt. Pretty unlucky for us as the board runs out, but pretty happy to see that solver agree with our decision by calling the river. So yeah, this is the first hand, and then the other hands like we play. I think towards the end of the session, we have King Jack suited on the cutoff, and then we raise standard open, button 3-bet us, and then we decide to call out of position on cutoff versus button with King Jack of diamonds. What's it? King Jack of diamonds? King Jack of hearts. King Jack of hearts. So we had King Jack of hearts, and on the flop we checked, and then he bet like half the pot, and we decided to go for. I think he bet pot was 80. I think he went for like a small bet. So the flop was Jack 4 deuce 2 diamonds, and we check, and then he used like a smaller sizing, and then we check raise to like 45, and then he called. The turn was a 7 of heart, and then we just value bet like half the pot on the turn. Not half the pot, I think the pot was like, we bet like 40% the pot on the turn. So we bet 40% the pot on the turn when 7 of heart comes, and then he called, and then river is the deuce of spades. We ended up check folding. We checked, and then he over jammed, and then we folded. But obviously solvers say that we should be calling there like 99.3% of the time. So I guess we did like a terrible fold on the river there. But once again, solver is kind of off when it's like a 3-bet pot, even though like we input all the information correctly. Not exactly sure. I was shocked to see King Jack suited was a call there, like almost 100% of the time, like 99.3% of the time is pretty much 100% of the time. So we ended up check folding the river. We check fold to a overbet jam on the river. Later I was checking this hand, and then the solvers say that we're supposed to be calling there 99.3% of the time. I guess he could have like tons of missed diamond draws. He could have some like diamonds and gut shot, diamond in the pair on the turn, or diamond open-ended draw, and everything missed on the river. So I guess that's why solver want to check call the river. But I didn't expect it to see like 99.3. I feel like it's pretty close between a call and fold, and we obviously decided to win with the fold option at the end. But solver didn't agree with our decision, so I guess that was a kind of like a bad play, sort of. So that's about it, and I'm gonna take a look at the graph that 604 cap that posted. Let me take a look. Let me see about this hand. What's the action here? I don't see the action. Money just going in. That's the whole action. Realize hand didn't show correctly. All the money went in on the flop. So I guess it's like he opened King 10 off on the button, on cutoff, and then you defended in small blind with King 10 suited. I wouldn't do this play. As played, I'm always like 3-betting if I want to play King 10 suited in the small blind facing cutoff open. So King 10 suited should always be a 3-bet here. And then if you 3-bet, I pretty much assume that he's gonna fold King 10 offsuit, and then the hand will pretty much be over there. I guess you went for the flat call on pre-flop. Personally, I'll never flat call in small blind with any hands, especially facing cutoff and button open. I'll always 3-bet. If I want to play it, it's always a 3-bet. Flat calling, cold calling in small blind is just not plus EV in the long run, so you shouldn't be just flat calling in small blind. However, as the hand play, I guess you call, and then you guys both flop a straight, which is the nuts, and he had backdoor diamonds, you had backdoor hearts, and then you get there on the river. I'm not sure if there's anything to talk about in this hand, except that you shouldn't be flat calling in small blind. Should always be a 3-bet or fold, because by flat calling you expose yourself to big blind squeeze, and King 10 suited, you don't want to play this hand out of position. That's about it. Obviously it's a cooler for him. You guys both had the nuts, and he had backdoor diamond, you had backdoor hearts, and then you get there, and then he lose. That's about it. Running pretty good, buddy. Running pretty good, buddy. How many buying do you think it's needed for Zoom? In smaller stakes, I would say 15 to 20 buying should be enough. If you're a good player, small stakes, 15 to 20 buyings. Mid stakes, like 50 NL, maybe 30 buyings would be safer. 30 to 40 buy-ins, 200 NL, 500 NL. Gunnery 4, thanks for the follow, welcome to the stream, even though we are about to wrap up. How many buy-ins for, so 200 big blind, 200 NL, 500 NL, you probably need somewhere between 50 buy-ins or more, because players are better, definitely. So you're gonna go through more variances. For example, like I'm a career 5BB per 100 crusher, and I did just experience a pretty bad run. We ran 20 buy-ins behind all-in expected value in July. If you guys start following me, you know, July, June, then you guys went through that downswing with me. So we dropped like 20 buy-ins in July. Not really dropped 20 buy-ins, but we ran 20 buy-ins behind, and then we probably were like on a 4,000 downswing, so it's equivalent to like 20 buy-ins. So for a game like this, like For 20 and 200 NL, 500 NL, probably better to have more than 50 buy-ins. If you're not experienced, if you're moving up from a smaller game, definitely prepare around like 50 buy-ins. If you're like experienced